God created this land to work in unity with everything else in the land, and we just enjoy working with nature as God created it. My name is Gartner. I ranch with my family south of Glen, North Dakota. We've been ranching since early 1990s, and we've been slowly transitioning into regenerative agriculture. So we kind of have the best of both worlds. We have good flat land for making hay off of, and also some fields that have been converted back to grass for grazing on that land. When I was growing up, we lived north of Glen, and the farm was small, and Dad figured he either had to go to work off the farm or we had to move to a bigger farm. So the opportunity came to come south of town to a larger operation. He did not want to work off the farm. He did that early in his marriage, and that was not for him. So he liked being his own boss. And I guess I learned that from my father. So we did farm about 800 acres of farmland. We did run a couple hundred head of cattle. So I mentioned earlier that we started farming with my father in 1992. Dad did things the way he learned to do them, and we learned from Dad. We did things conventionally. We had tillage, we had season-long grazing, we had everything like it was always done. In 2000, Dad had a heart attack. He was unable to work on the farm anymore. At that time, we did do a lot of farming. We had just built up the ranch and the farm acres to support 2 families, and Dad not able to work anymore. We were really just stressed out about how we're gonna get all the work done, and so we needed to make some changes. In 2004, we found our first holistic management course, and we went and did that, and the instructor kept asking the question of why. Probably the earliest regenerative practice that we incorporated was some cross fencing. We did try to rotational graze with existing pastures. 40 head on 400 acre pastures was not much of a rotation. 2004, we built our first cross fence. 2006, we put our first pasture well in and pipelines in. We've gone from 14 pastures in the early 2000s before we started this to we're at about 88 paddocks right now. At the moment, we've stopped building permanent cross fences, but now we're using polywire to strip them down even further. And that's what really got us thinking, and that started the progress, the procession of where we're at today. That same year, we also bought our first grass-based genetics bull, and we started transitioning into winter grazing, seeding land back to grass for hay and grazing. And it's just been a process that's been ongoing and ever learning, and we just thoroughly enjoy it since then. The initial choice to go this route with regenerative agriculture was because of my dad's heart attack. We just couldn't do the work without him. We needed more labor, or we needed to cut back on the requirements of labor. And so we decided, that's when, like I said, we took our holistic management course. We decided that we could do this without the extra labor. There's so many talks that are online. There's so many local talks here in North Dakota, Burley County Soil Conservation, North Dakota Grazing Lands Coalition. There's so many good organizations that are promoting regenerative agriculture. We got so much to learn, and yet it is so humbling when people come to us and ask questions. And we're more than happy to share what we know, just to help people to have to not reinvent the wheel, because so many people helped us. We just want to pass that along to others. Science is continually changing agriculture, and yet we find that for ourselves, it is most fun and most enjoyable when we work with nature, learn from the science that's out there today, but still work with nature and just try to go back to the way God designed things to function. We've learned that as we come along this journey. Every time we make plans, something comes along and changes those plans. So we've learned to just roll with things, be very flexible, month to month, year to year, and yet it all does fit into the ultimate goal of leaving the land in a better condition that we've received it in. Just taking care of this little part of God's creation is so rewarding. It's very humbling that Morton County Soil Conservation felt our operation worthy to be nominated. We're very grateful for them for that and all the hard work they put into the application. The comments and the congratulations from friends, neighbors, just people you don't even know very well that send congratulations on is very humbling.